that you train so hard for is what we're in right now. So, you have to be excited about it.
Maybe, let's see. Broussard, can the Suns win tonight if Devin Booker doesn't live up to that pressure that he's excited about, if he doesn't have a bounce-back game?
No, he needs to play big. Look, yeah, CP3 could go berserk and score 30-something. Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, these guys could get hot from three. But I don't see that happening. I don't see this team winning without Devin Booker having a big-time game. In their wins in these playoffs, he averages 28 points on 47% shooting. In their losses, he averages 21 points on 32% shooting. Now, the good news for Phoenix is that virtually every time he's played poorly as far as shooting the ball, he's come back with 25 or more points in the next game. So they need Booker to do that, and I think he will, because we've talked about it ad nauseum. The Suns do present matchup problems for the Milwaukee Bucks, to the point where Devin Booker averaged 27 points against Milwaukee in the 4 previous games before Game 3. So I expect Booker to come back and play large. Chris Middleton defended him well, but I don't know that Middleton can do that again. He contested his shots. I think obviously Monty Williams is going to make some adjustments to try to make sure he can get Booker a little bit more space. But I think that'll do the trick, and Booker will have a big game.
I think he's going to have a monstrous game, Chris. And just like how we're like, Drew Holiday needs to come out and be more aggressive. And we saw the opening shot. You're like, oh, you guys want me to be more aggressive? Bam, bam. He just starts shooting, making his own shot. Well, I think Chris Paul's #1 priority is to get Book going. And Nick, I don't think they're going to stop feeding him the ball until he's got, a handful of buckets underneath his belt. And then once he gets hot, I think it could get very scary for Milwaukee. We've talked about it before. Giannis is giving you a consistent 30 and 15. Booker's been more up and down, but we've yet to see a truly explosive game from Devin Booker, and I think we could be on the verge of it here.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that in these finals, because if Booker gets going, the Bucks will just put Drew Holiday on him. In this series, Devin Booker has taken 12 shots with Drew Holiday on him. He has made 1 of them. He has scored 3 points with Drew Holiday guarding him. Now, Drew Holiday can't guard Booker and Chris Paul. He's having to trade off. And so Booker has done some of his work on Middleton and Tucker. And again, Booker hasn't, aside from the second half of Game 2, he hasn't been efficient against anybody. But he is not drawing dead against the others the way he has been against Drew. The reason that I am so confident in Milwaukee, despite being down 2-1, is there is only one thing we know about tonight. We know Giannis is going to be awesome. We don't know anybody else tonight what they're going to give you. But I would bet this, Brandon. We're talking about a guy who bounces back after a poor performance. I would bet this. I want to bet it all. Chris Middleton is better tonight than Devin Booker. And if that happens, the Suns have no chance. Because okay, all right, fine. That's no problem. You already owe me a Jets helmet from Game 3. It has not yet been sent to me. Go ahead and send me the Jets helmet. You already owe a little bit, but we can add more to it. Oh, that's right. You're right. You know what? You're right. You don't owe me the Jets helmet. You're right. I said I didn't want it. That is correct. That's correct. So I think that, Brandon, let me just put a pin on it in this real quick. I think the Suns can't win without Booker playing really well, but I don't think Booker playing really well by any means guarantees a Suns victory. I think Booker could score 30 and they still lose. So that's why I think the Suns are in a bad spot tonight, Brandon.
I said this last week. I mean, the short memory, that whole saying is supposed to be for players, not reporters, not analysts. Short-term memory. Have we not watched what this team have done all year in the playoffs? This team just ran through everybody. Now all of a sudden they lose one game to a team that they've beat 4 times out of 5 this year, and now we're saying, oh my goodness, the Bucks are unstoppable. Oh, Giannis, he's going to have 40 and they're going to win the game. Come on, please. Now, I do agree with you that Booker needs to step up because Booker is just not a guy. He is the guy. Booker needs to play better. He's been uncomfortable since his nose been broken. There's been 2 times since where he's been hitting his nose trying to get to the paint, and you can see him just holding it and looking uncomfortable and shaking up. I don't expect him not to come out. I don't expect him coming out and being soft. I expect him coming out and being aggressive. Here's the deal with Booker. Booker is a guy. What do I mean by that? There's some dudes, they don't want the flair. They don't want the lights. What they do is, oh, we're walking in. I don't want the cameras. Let me go in the back. Please, security, take me around the back. I just don't need the attention. He is seeking it. Guys like that come in dressed up, driving up with the old school cars, the 64 Chevys and the 70 Donks and 7 Tray Donks and all of that with the ivory slim fitted suits. He wants the attention. He wants to be on the stage. So he's absolutely going to embrace this moment, Wilds. Like, I don't see him fading. He's just been uncomfortable, and he knows right now he needs to step up and deliver, not only for his team, but CP3's over there like, brother, I didn't come this far to lose. We are the better team, and you know that. Now, Wilds, the last thing I would say here is one of the things that we got to take into consideration is that trio, that big 3 over there with the Bucks, that was the best game they've ever had together all year. We're talking about efficient points. We're talking about shooting percentages. That was the best they have played all year. I don't see that happening again.
Okay, I buy it.
There it is, right there.
I
threw it up late.
think it's a
you
savvy
go talk
move.
over that for me.
If they could, I will. They played well, and I think you have a point that Devin Booker would probably play well if they could transport that car that he drove to Phoenix to Milwaukee. I don't think it's a bad idea. You park it in the hotel garage, you drive it around to Fiserv Stadium or whatever it's called. I think that would be a solid move. Broussard, here's why I think Devin Booker can also have a great move, a great game. I think Monty Williams' move to bench him for the entire 4th quarter was so unconventional and without precedent in the finals when you're benching your superstar, a young superstar with, only at that point, this were 11 quarters of experience, finals experience, to make a move that unconventional and strange and a gamble. I think that it's got to pay off. I think Monty Williams knows something that we don't. Monty Williams knows that this is the way to motivate him, to prepare us for a big game in Game 4. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. There's plenty of little moves he could have done to rest him. Play 5 minutes if it gets out of hand. But the fact that he sat him for the whole time, I have faith that the move was so weird and unconventional that it's going to pay dividends.
I do agree that a guy like Devin Booker, who wants to be Kobe Bryant, who fashions his mentality